Wright Tire and Service on West Fort Williams in Sylacauga is the right place for you. We carry the right tires for your car: Goodyear, Cooper, General, Michelin, and lots more. Wright Tire and Service is also your right choice when it comes to all of your automotive service needs. Whether it's an oil change, front end alignment, brake service, or air conditioner work, make the right choice the first time and stop by Wright Tire and Service, Sylacauga.
This man is not a mime. He's merely expressing his joy of switching from his old bank to Heritage South Credit Union. His story unfolds through the rare, spontaneous exuberance of interpretive dance, which anyone can learn with a little help from Heritage South. Isn't it time you said hello to Heritage South?
Alabama State Parks, your other backyard. Brought to you by Alabama State Parks, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Welcome to Chamber Chat. Today, I've got a treat for you. I've got two guests. My first guest is Laurie Andrijeski, and she is, what are you? Are you the manager, or you're the...
They call me the market manager.
She is the market manager for Sylacauga's Famers Market, and we're going to talk a few minutes about the Famers Market this year. They just opened up 2 Fridays ago, is that right?
Yes, we had what we considered sort of a soft opening the first 2 weeks. We've got a lot of new vendors, we've got a lot of new equipment, and a lot of new volunteers. And because of the unusual weather this year,
right.
All of our vendors and farmers said that they were ready to go by May 25th, so we quick fast put it together for the 25th of May.
That really has made a difference this year. So we're going to talk about the Famers Market first, and then in the last part of my show, Bill Roberts is going to be here, and we're going to talk about Sylacauga Grows, which is another facet of Sylacauga and what we're doing to help the community, and they have their own gardens growing there. But the Famers Market now, these are local growers from our area, right?
Yes, the Farmers Market, the Sylacauga Farmers Market is overseen by the Alabama Farmers Market Authority.
Which means it's governed by the state.
Yes.
And their guidelines.
They're centered out of Montgomery.
Right.
And they set our guidelines and our rules.
So this year, every year you seem to this is the third year?
Yes, this would be the third year, yes.
So, and every year you seem to add more vendors. How many vendors have you started out with this year?
This year, we're doing things a little bit different.
Okay.
I believe we have a total of 8 vendors.
Wow.
Yes, so it's big.
That's great.
Yes.
So what types of things what kind of crops are coming in now? And what are they
I was
bringing in?
really amazed the first 2 weeks, the number of peaches that are already ready.
Huh.
They're not the real big freestone peaches, but they sure are good.
Okay.
And there were lots of peaches. Several of the farmers still have greens.
Okay, that's good.
Lots of beans, butter beans, speckled beans, string beans, any kind of
Any
bean
kind
you
of
want.
bean you can think of. That's right. And there's a lot of different beans out there
Yes,
too.
yes, it's
There
amazing.
really are.
It's amazing.
Now these growers and the folks that come to this market, they are all from our general vicinity?
Yes, the market, we start setting up at 7 o'clock on Friday mornings.
Right.
So you have to get up pretty early to get your truck loaded and get to Sylacauga. I think the farthest people come from is probably Clanton this year. But yeah, I say if you can make it to Sylacauga by 7 a.m., you're part of our area.
So you ask the vendors to be there by 7.
Yes.
And then the market itself opens up at 7:30.
At 7:30.
And it runs until 1 in the afternoon.
1
right?
p.m. on Fridays, and we set up rain or shine.
That's great.
And we've got a wonderful team of volunteers that help us set up. You may have noticed there's several tents, lots of tables, lots of chairs, water. We've got to get the restrooms open. It's pretty hectic. 30, 45 minutes first thing in the morning.
Now the location, if you don't know where the farmers market's located, it's simple to find. It's on Norton Avenue, right across from Bluebell Creamery.
Bluebell Ice Cream.
In Central Station, or Bluebell Park as folks call it.
Yes, exactly.
And that's where it's been since its inception. Is right there. And it's a great atmosphere. I love going down there.
It's a lot of fun. You see your neighbors and your friends and your coworkers, and I'd like to encourage people to speak with the farmers directly.
Sure.
Sometimes people walk away from a tent and they'll say, "Oh, those peaches are too high." Go back over to that farmer and make an offer, dicker with them. That's what they're there for.
Well, that's what it's all about.
Yes,
when you go things like that.
The person selling the produce is the person who grew it.
That's right.
So you talk to them and work something out.
Now, all these vendors that are there selling their produce, they're all governed and governed and licensed by the state too.
Yes, the farmers are all overseen by the Alabama Extension Service out of Talladega County, and then the Alabama Famers Market Association.
Now I know in the past, or at least last year, I noticed that you've added some events on these Fridays to kind of get people to come in. I think last year there was even a tomato sandwich.
Yes, make your own tomato sandwich.
Make your own tomato sandwich.
Yes.
Are you doing that again this year?
We're doing that again this year, and we're going to have National Ice Cream Month. Bluebell will be giving away free ice cream.
That's at the end of July, I believe.
At the end of July.
Yes.
And
they kind of unveil whatever. They have a limited offer, special flavor every year, and that's usually when they unveil that.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's coming up on the 27th of July. So before that, what do we got going on?
Well, this coming Friday, June 6th, we're having a Flag Day celebration.
Okay.
And we have 2 Boy Scout troops, one from the First Methodist Church and one from the First Baptist Church, are going to raise the flag for us.
Right.
And we have a young lady coming to sing the national anthem.
Who will be doing that?
Don't
remember her name?
I don't remember her name.
Darn. That's okay.
I'm
we
very
all have
sorry.
those moments.
But
that's this Friday.
That's this
June
Friday.
8th.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And they're going to raise a flag, and there's going to be drawings for flags and things like
and
that.
Flags,
also?
yes, and that's all sponsored by Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union is providing the flag prizes and handout of flags for everyone who wants to participate.
That's outstanding. It's so nice to see whenever things like this start to happen and different events in our city, how the banks and the credit unions and the other businesses, the industries, everyone seems to want to partner and be a part of that. And the farmers market is another example of how that partnership works. And I just think it's a wonderful thing to see, in Sylacauga for us to be doing that. You've also got, I've noticed on here what intrigued me too, the tomato sandwich day is June the 29th. I see that on here. And then I see that on July the 6th, it's a free rain barrel demonstration.
Yes.
Exactly what is that?
Okay, you may have heard
what is that?
Right. You may have heard of gathering the rainwater off your roof to use in the yard. Yes. And what I've done is I've taken a 55-gallon drum, very simple plumbing, so that you have an overflow in case it gets too full, and you have a spigot on the bottom, so you can water things in your yard with water off your roof. Yes. And the particular barrel that I'm going to show, I painted it, and I put a decoration on it to match my house.
Wow.
So I'm hoping my neighbors won't mind too much if I have a big 55-gallon drum connected to my downspout out in my front yard. But the hope is that I can use the water on my flowers in my yard.
Well, I think in the times that we're living in too right now, we're all trying to conserve energy and conserve water, because it's not been that long ago when Sylacauga and the whole state of Alabama, we had a serious drought.
Terrible drought.
And you don't know when that's going to happen again. Right now we're being blessed with rain, and that's a wonderful thing. But something like this is really, really, really a useful tool.
Well, and it's fun, you know, if you have children or grandchildren,
Sure.
get them to participate. I had a wonderful time painting my barrel. It was, you know, it's very simple. If you come to the farmers market,
Right.
you'll see it.
Right.
I used the actual house paint that I
On
painted
the
my
color of the
house with. Yes.
See, and we've all got extra house paint because
Yes.
everybody saves a little bit in case you have
In
to
case.
touch something up. You never
Yes.
know what you have
Yes.
to do. But this is you've got a whole schedule of events all summer long until the end of the market. But if I'm not mistaken, this market, the farmers market, this segment of it ends toward the end of August.
Yes, August 17th will be our last day, and we've got a garden cart and garden tools and products that have been donated by Home Depot that
Oh,
we've been
wonderful.
filling out raffle tickets for.
And that's going to be given away at the end of the season?
On August 17th,
Outstanding.
yes. And last week we had a generous donation from Downtown Barbecue and Bluebell Creameries, and we drew for a free dinner at Downtown Barbecue and free ice cream from Bluebell. And if you're drawn, say, you know, for a week,
Right.
we throw you back in the pot.
Right.
So you can
You still have a
still
chance.
on August 17th, and there is no cost for that.
So you come by the farmers market on a weekly basis, and you can enter for these drawings that are going to go on through the whole summer.
Yes, yes, and you can fill out as many tickets as you care to
Yeah.
until your hand cramps up, I suppose. You know?
And people love to do that. People
Yes.
love drawings, and
Yes.
it's just a wonderful thing. Now, I also see that another partner, like you've mentioned Home Depot helped you out, and the credit unions, and Piggly Wiggly and Walmart are going to be a part of the tomato sandwich day.
Yes.
And then on June the 15th, which is coming up just around the corner, the Animal Rescue Foundation, they're going to be out there, and you're going to be partnering with them to help them possibly get some pets adopted, because
Yes.
that, you know, as you've seen on television with Debbie Jacobson and her wonderful efforts through the Animal Rescue Foundation, there is a real dire need in our community to adopt these animals, because
there is.
there's just an overflow.
Yes.
A constant overflow.
Yes, so this is another avenue for them. My understanding is that they'll be down there with the Adopt an Animal bus.
Yes, that
Have
big
you
green
seen it?
bus.
Yes,
That's
the big
right.
green
That's
bus.
right. The big green
and
bus.
they'll have information on caring for your pets, especially in the heat, and and they'll help you choose a pet. Different families have different needs. If you have real small children, maybe a dog isn't right for them yet. Maybe a cat would be better. You know, they'll help you make those choices.
That's going to be that'll be a wonderful
I
event
think that'll be
too.
a fun day.
And then you talked about Home Depot, and Home Depot, they have ongoing programs within their store for the kids to
Yes.
come out and build things, but they're going to do it
They're going to do a special program at the
August
Farmers
10th.
Market on August 10th.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
So they're going to bring their workshop day that they usually do at the store to the farmers market on that Friday.
Right, and all the kids can set up and work.
That'll be great. I think that's a great thing they do anyway, because it gives, you know, fathers and sons, or fathers and daughters, or mothers and daughters, or grandparents a chance with their kids to do hands-on things. And Home Depot is just another example of a great, you know, community partner.
Yes,
To
and
do these
we've
things.
got on August 3rd, this should be exciting, Alabama Nature Center is going to visit with us, and they're going to have information on things about natural Alabama, the waterways, forests, our parks, those kinds of things. They'll have a lot of information, maps, and ways that you can enjoy. Like we've got the Talladega National Forest
That's
right in our
right.
backyard.
Exactly.
They can help us to enjoy that more.
They've also, I think, just finished a map mapping out Hatchet Creek and that whole
Exactly.
area, how you can follow that
Exactly.
in your canoe, and portage to the different points, and stop here and stop there.
Right.
And this is something that will give everybody a chance to pick up activities that you can do most of the year round, too.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Not just in the summertime, but in the
Yes.
fall and the winter, too. Now, speaking of the fall, this year will be the first time, I think, or did you do it last year?
We talked about a fall market last year. You know, by the time you get to the middle of August,
Yeah.
and it's hot and you're getting tired,
Right,
and we
right.
just didn't have it pulled together yet.
But this year,
In October and November,
Right.
the market will reopen for fall produce, pumpkins, squash, late tomatoes, greens, all of those kinds of items will be available.
Okay.
And you'll be able to have them for your Thanksgiving table, or for your Halloween celebrations.
That's
yes.
outstanding. That'll be good. Now that's going to be a whole new face at the farmers market. Like like Laurie said, they wanted to do it last year, but it was like you said, it's hard to get stuff together like that at the end of the time.
Yes, it is.
And how many volunteers do you have that help out with this?
The one nice thing about our volunteers this year is that there are enough people willing to participate that no 2 or 3 volunteers have to be there every Friday, all Friday. Okay. So we're sort of switching in and out.
Right.
And the other thing too, if you're interested in volunteering, please let me know. If you just want to come for an hour first thing in the morning, we'd love to have
you set up or come back at 1 o'clock and help break down.
Exactly. If you want to come down at 12:30 and help us clean up, that's great too.
Okay.
And don't feel that you're obligated to 6:30 in the morning till 1:30 in the afternoon every Friday.
Okay.
We can work around your schedule, and we're all taking vacations and doing things with our families too.
That's right. That's right. We're moving around. So let's finish up on this farmers market now. We've got the farmers market every Friday from now. It's been 2 weeks now.
Yes.
Until August 17th.
Yes.
And you can come down and get your fresh produce, and it turns over every week. They even have sunflowers last summer anyway.
Yes,
beautiful
flowers last year.
And then they're also going to have the fall market. And there's activities every Friday you don't want to miss. There's a website you can go to.
Yes, our website is just SylacaugaFamersMarket.org.
.org. That's not .com, .net, it's .org, but it's simple because it's Sylacauga Farmers Market. Laurie, thanks a lot for being with me today.
Thank
I
you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
And everybody needs to get down to that farmers market. And you stay with me when we come back. Bill Roberts is going to be here, and we're going to talk about another stuff. Lots of stuff is growing.
Welcome home, man.
NASCAR is back, and so is Wide Open Racing, brought to you by Glenn Smith, Buick GMC, Toyota of Sylacauga. Join hosts David McCurley and Sheila Estes as they take your live phone calls every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Join the discussion of your favorite driver, or even take time to bash your most hated driver. Win prizes with our winners and losers. It's all live on Wednesday nights. Wide Open Racing at 8 p.m.
And counting, we are go for a mission to the moon at this time. The second stage tanks now pressurizing, and we're coming up on the power transfer. 50 seconds.
One trip to the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama, and you can show your kids the space program in ways that no textbook ever could. You'll learn the history of the Apollo missions, how to pilot the space shuttle, and that the moon is actually just a short drive away in Alabama.
Right Tire and Service on West Fort Williams in Sylacauga is the right place for you. We carry the right tires for your car: Goodyear, Cooper, General, Michelin, and lots more. Right Tire and Service is also your right choice when it comes to all of your automotive service needs. Whether it's an oil change, front end alignment, brake service, or air conditioner work, make the right choice the first time and stop by Right Tire and Service, Sylacauga.
Alabama State Parks, your other backyard. Brought to you by Alabama State Parks, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
I'm back now with Bill Roberts, and Bill Roberts is Sylacauga Grows. So what's growing, Bill?
Everything is finally growing. We got peas, beans, squash, tomatoes, okra, corn, watermelon.
Wow.
Sunflowers.
Strawberries? You got sunflowers this year?
Yeah, we had them last year.
That's right, you did. I forgot about that.
Strawberries, blueberries, figs.
Wow.
And our fruit trees were bearing, but we took all the fruit off the fruit trees because we want them to just have growth.
Yeah. Because the orchard part of Sylacauga Grows, is that basically the newest area? And that just...
Well, and it was actually some kind of poor land. The crops didn't grow very well on that.
Right.
So we decided to put an orchard in, and every time we put a tree in, we dig a hole about 3 times bigger than needs to be.
Right.
Take all the dirt out and put topsoil and leaf mold and all that stuff back in the hole for each one of the new trees.
All right. Now, Sylacauga Grows, in case you don't know, has been around since March of 2009. Tell just a brief synopsis of how that how it evolved.
Well, we had several entities, industrial entities, go out of business. And so the city sponsored a jobs fair at the rec department.
Right.
And at that jobs fair, they had some questionnaires, and they asked people what their needs were. And of course, the number 1 need was jobs, but the number 2 need was food. And we didn't feel like there was a lot we could do as far as the jobs were concerned, but there was something that we could do in the food department.
Right.
So we started looking at the possibility of starting a garden. And we went to Birmingham to the Jones Valley Urban Farm. That's a program that's been going for about 10 or 12 years. It's just unbelievable.
And it's a much larger program.
Oh, it's much more sophisticated too.
Really?
But it does great things, and we got lots of ideas from them, and then we came back and started looking for a place to put it. And that took a little time.
Yeah.
But we found this little spot in Sullivan Court that had some big trees on it that had to be cut, but other than that, it was ready to go.
Right.
And so we got that going. We had water put out there. We had electricity put out there. We put a little building, and it's grown from there. And now we have a greenhouse. We have storage buildings. We have rain. I heard y'all talking about rain collection barrels. We have 3 of them. We have 2,000-gallon ones and a 500-gallon one.
That's kind of a little bit bigger than Laurie's 55-gallon drum, but that's an excellent. That's because anything like that we can do. Just it saves the garden money, and it's using our resources.
Well, and it's good water.
Right.
And so we do that. We use them. We also have some raised bed gardens that are over at the old Purcell property.
And aren't those people can lease those?
Yes, and I'd like to invite people. We have openings. We got probably 15 or 16 of them that aren't being used. We charge $5 a year. $5 a year, folks. They're 11 foot long by 5 foot wide.
11 foot by 5 foot.
That includes water.
Okay.
And we'll even help supply you with plants if you need them.
Huh.
And you can grow anything in there that's legal.
I'm glad you qualified that. That's probably real important.
The people that are using them have had great results with them and have grown a lot of stuff, and they're just sitting there. They're ready for somebody to use.
Well, since 2009, you started giving away bags of food as early as what?
That first year, we gave away 2.5 tons of vegetables.
2.5 tons in 2009. So since then, what's been happening with it?
Well,
has it grown every year?
They have. Now this year we're running a little bit behind. We had to replant. We had a big hailstorm and had to replant everything. But everything is growing. We've actually changed the format a little bit. We let entities adopt a section.
Right. Different churches, I think, have done that
too. Different churches, or any entity can that wants to. Civitan Club,
Rotary,
Kiwanis,
whoever,
any of those could if they wanted to.
Okay.
But they grow stuff in there, and then we get it.
Okay.
And we use it to distribute to.
So they maintain their area that they adopt, basically.
Yes, but we augment that if they don't have time during a particular busy time of the year or something. I've got workers out there, and we keep everything up. And then,
so how do you get your workers? Where do they come from?
A number of different ways. the biggest way right now is the probation office. There are a lot of people that are unemployed that have fines for one reason or another, and if they're having a hard time paying those fines, we've worked out a deal with the probation office, and they come and work their time off in the garden.
And usually, I know I've had some of these people at the chamber and young ladies that have worked for me at the chamber, and these folks are usually so thankful to be able to do this kind of work, just to be able to get this off their back and help them get on their feet and get a new start.
And we try to make it a positive thing. One of the first things we ask when they come out there, especially if they have a good bit of time, is do you have your diploma? And if they don't, we get them lined up in GED school right off the bat, and they can use that, take that off their time, because it's good for the city and it's good for them too. The more education they have, the better apt they are to get a job and get out into the market and do something positive.
And be a productive part of the market.
Sure.
I mean, and
society
and everything else too.
They're going to have a chip on their shoulder when they get out there. But I tell them real quick that life is full of challenges. The only person that's going to accept the challenge is you.
And I don't suspect that you don't ask them to do anything you wouldn't do yourself.
I don't.
For sure. That's right.
But I also don't fuss at them. I said, this is up to you. If you work hard and do what I ask you to do, I'll give you recommendations, referrals, and stuff. But I said, I'm not going to lie for you. If you don't, it's up to you to work out here.
That's right.
I don't care if you get here. I don't care if you don't.
Now through the Sylacauga Grows program, this particular program since '09 has really become a model for the whole county, because I think Fayetteville School, Sycamore School, Indian Valley have all got their own gardens now.
Well, all of the elementary schools in the county have gardens.
That's outstanding.
And
that's
neat.
Grown from this.
And we built them for them.
That is great.
Except for Fayetteville's. Now, they built theirs themselves, and they have a pretty big outfit. Theirs goes all the way through high school.
Oh, my goodness.
And they have different sections growing different stuff, everything from vegetables to cotton to herbs, fruit orchard, the whole shooting match.
So they've got a big facility out there in Fayetteville.
Of course, they have some pretty good help down there,
Yes,
too.
they do. They have some resources down there that are pretty good about helping them. So, other than the probation office that's helping you out, you also have churches and other entities that take part in that. And also, you told me about some youth groups across the country that are coming in this summer.
We had a youth group from Russellville, Alabama last week, and they told me there would be 20 of them. And so I made a list of stuff that I thought would last them. They were going to be here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I made a list that would last them that whole week. They finished with it by lunchtime on Tuesday.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they worked like Trojans. We wound up cleaning out everything. We mowed some lawns out there in Syllabon Court. We added some new areas to the garden. They just worked like crazy.
So when's your next group coming in?
Coming in next Tuesday
and they're
from
coming
Mississippi.
From Mississippi. That's outstanding.
And we've actually had groups from Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama.
That's great.
And they stay at Chaco Springs and then come every morning.
And they bring them down there and they work and they go back at night.
They work, they bring their lunches, they bring food. And
so how do folks in Sylacauga who need food and want to get a sack full of produce, how do they do that? We got a little bit of time left here. Let's tell them.
All right, they need to go, if they can't afford to buy the stuff, they need to go by the care house. And I don't think they've got our vouchers yet. I'll have to let you know when we get the vouchers out there. We're still a week to 10 days away from having stuff to harvest yet.
Okay, so then they get their vouchers from the care house.
And once we've got a meeting next week to decide what days are going to be market days. We'll have them 2 days a week probably.
And we'll make sure that gets on to Jimmy Dale's show so he can tell the folks and I can tell the folks when that's going to be available.
And it'll be from 1 in the afternoon until we run out, which does not take long.
I bet it doesn't.
Last year we had 70 bags ready at 1 o'clock, and by 1:15 they were gone.
Oh my goodness!
So
how many tons of food did you go through last year? Did you produce last year? Do you think?
Well, last year was a lot drier, but we did another 2 to 2.5 tons of vegetables last year.
Goodness gracious! Now, how does this go on up into the fall too?
Yeah. In fact,
all right.
We'll have a separate fall crop. We'll have turnip greens and collards and cabbage and lettuce and carrots and that kind of thing.
Well, Bill.
And sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes. Cool. Okay. We're going to get out of here now, but I want you guys to remember, go to the garden and help Bill out if you got a chance. It's
And
back there on
if-
Sylvan Court.
I don't mean to butt in, but if anybody's growing stuff at home
And you got
they
extra?
have any extra, call me at 391-7803 and I'll come pick it up because we
Okay.
can't grow enough stuff for the people
All right.
that need it.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate you
Thank
being
you.
here. See you next time on Chamber Chat, and we'll have some more interesting topics about your city.